Why is that not? Hi and good evening and welcome to this special tribute as we pay tribute to Terry Venables, ex-player and manager of Tottenham Hotspur from the sea. Joined us actually back in, let me guess this right, well there he is there, but he did join Spurs. He did. And what was the first job he did, Philip? I got a bit of thing here, right? He was signed by Spurs for a fee of 80,000. He made his debut for the club at 1-0 with a win at Blackburn Rovers on the 9th of May, 66. He soon made his presence felt when he punched club legend Dave Mackay. So do you want to talk a little bit about Terry Venables?
And he lived to tell the tale. Mackay must have been slipping at that stage. Yeah, he was quite unusual. Although Jimmy Greaves had come to us from Chelsea via AC Milan, it's quite unusual for clubs to transfer players between them, Chelsea and Spurs. And in all fairness, I don't think the Spurs fans ever really wholly took to him as a player because of his ex-Chelsea connections. He was a good player for us, no doubt about it. But he didn't have the same rapport with the fans as Jimmy Greaves. At least Jimmy Greaves he went to another club in the middle between Chelsea and Spurs. That being said, though, he was a good midfielder. He was a very good midfielder.
And he saved Tottenham. He saved Tottenham. A lot of people.
He did. 1991, he did.
You can. Yeah, just carry on there for a minute, Philip. There, sorry.
Yeah, it was. If anyone was not aware of the situation, back in 1991, just after we won the FA Cup, under Terry Venables' guidance, Spurs were on the verge of going bankrupt. Barclays Bank, it was a Midland Bank. We were going to pull a plug on them, and he went into an agreement with Alan Sugar to buy out the club from Irving Scholar, and only for that we might not be sitting here today talking about him.
No, and look, he may have had his issue, allegations, as we call them, of a bit of how can you put it, Philip? Brown paper bags and everything, but
let's just say his favorite TV program was only Fools and Horses.
Yeah, but he was a football genius when it came to management and managing players, wasn't he?
He was good. Yeah, he was one of the lads. He was one of the lads. He was good. Of course, he got from Dagenham in Essex. That's same pretty much the same area Jimmy Greaves was from.
Yeah. Well, look, very quickly, he was born Terence Fenwick Venables on the 6th of Jan 43 in Danig. You want to read that out? I can't get my teeth in.
In Dagenham, Essex.
Dagenham, Essex. And then, of course, he passed away today. He was a midfielder, Philip. His youth career, not a lot of people know, he did start at Chelsea. He started his career at Chelsea.
He was there for 6 years.
Yeah, he was. Then he went to Spurs. Then he went to QPR, Crystal Palace. Then he went to a few plays on loan. Then he played for St. Patrick Athletic on loan for 2 games. So
that restored my memory. I remember he played at the very end of his career. He played for St. Pat. Only a couple of matches.
Yeah, but 528 appearances, Philip, 50 goals in his whole career. England as well. He represented England at every level from schoolboy up to international. Only 2 caps for England, though. Did go on to manage them as a manager, Philip. A managerial career, of course, he's managed everywhere from Crystal Palace, QPR, Barcelona, Tottenham, England, Australia, Palace again for a season. Middlesbrough joint with Brian Robson, the ill-fated job at Leeds, and then England. His last job in English football was assistant to the man with the brolly with the wally. What was his name? The wally with the brolly. He was Sir Alex Ferguson's assistant for a while. You know who I mean?
Yeah, I just can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name. But of course, he was English assistant there, Philip. Now, this was his whole career at Chelsea. Now, I did a lot of digging for this tribute because I wanted to pay the man proper tribute. And so this was his whole Chelsea career. Made his debut in 59-60, Philip. Of course, won the League Cup for them in 64-65 and also a second division runners-up in 62-63. How good of a player was he back in them days, Philip? Was he one of these midfielders you could, like a bit of a Højbjerg or a bit of a Graham Roberts, or was he a bit like the Celso or Bentancur? What was he like as a player?
I think he was more an attacking midfielder, but I think it was unfortunate in the fact that he only played a couple of times for England. He came up against the England World Cup winning team around that time. That was his vintage, so he didn't get much of a look in against the likes of Alan Ball and Bobby Charlton and people like that. So he was a good player, but he always had this what would you say, Essex boy attitude about it. You know, it's always came to the fore. Flashy car, stuff like that. You know, but he enjoyed life. The only time he didn't enjoy life was when he got into bed having sugar, and sugar literally kicked him out of it eventually. You know?
But look, he was best mates with George Graham. They opened up, I think, in the 60s or the 70s. I think it was the 60s, a clothing shop down the King's Road, I think, in the 60s. Him and George Graham, because George Graham came from Chelsea as well. He came from that youth academy as well. So there's a few of them. So then he was transferred then from Chelsea to, of course, the mighty Tottenham. And the 65-66 appearance, of course, won the 67 FA Cup with us, Philip. Only spent 3 seasons with us. Well, 4 seasons. How would you describe his impact at Tottenham? He's in that iconic photo of Dave Mackay with Billy Bremner with the hand round there. And in the background, you can see Terry Venables looking very tanned, very, very looking like, I'm too good to be on this pitch. Just looking at Dave Mackay thinking, I've clumped you and I've lived the tale. But Billy Bremner, I don't think you're going to walk out this stadium alive.
No.
What do you think he's been a Tottenham man, Terry Venables? Do you think deep down he's always been a Spurs man?
To be honest with you, up to the time he came back to manage us, I would have said no. I think, you know, anyone that starts their career with Chelsea is going to have Chelsea, you know, in their blood, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like, he was always a very good player for Spurs, but like, I think his biggest contribution to Spurs was as a manager.
Yeah, I think so.
As a part owner, because he brought the success to the club. You know, he's actually been involved in 2 of the last 4 FA Cup wins.
Yeah,
you think of it. So you know, so he was a good utility player to have. Why he only stayed 3 seasons? I get the type. I don't think he was Bill Nick's type of player.
No, I don't think so.
You know, maybe his attitude was a bit, you know, cocky.
Yeah,
if you like. And Bill wouldn't like that. Bill liked the lads that didn't speak back to him. I'd say Terry didn't hold his mouth. Terry would have said what he thought.
Yeah. And of course, then he left there. He went to Canterbury, Macaville, and Olympic on loan in 74. But then, of course, before that, he finished off his career at QPR, Philip, where he won the second division runners-up medal at 72, 73, spent 6 seasons at QPR. Then he went off, of course, on loan in between there. Look, and then he finished off, of course, at Crystal Palace, a total appearance of 526 games, 50 goals, 51 appearances in the FA Cup and 4 goals, and others 42 appearances and 8 goals. So altogether, 619 games and 62 goals. Isn't a bad record for a player.
Goal every 10 matches, not bad. Not bad for a midfield player.
Now, his manageable career, of course, he managed Crystal Palace, Philip. He managed QPR. QPR now took them all the way to an FA Cup final, if we're not mistaken. You can talk through that. So what was your thought on that game? It's a game that Tottenham really shouldn't have won, but we did, but we shouldn't have won.
We shouldn't have. I mean, QPR, they were a second division team at the time. They were the better team in both matches. That's the strange thing. Yeah. We got it through a replay. Look, rather fortunately. And it was only Ben Hoddle's penalty in the replay that won the game for us. And the one thing we got out of that game was we got Terry as a manager later on. We also got Terry Fenwick. He came from QPR over the Spurs after that game. But then I'm just looking at his time at Barcelona. To survive 3.25 years at Barcelona, he must have had something. Because, you know, they don't suffer fools gladly down there.
No, they don't.
Okay, his win percentage was only 51%, which for Barcelona then was probably pretty poor. I'm not sure. I'm sure he won honours down there. I'm not quite sure what he won in Barcelona.
He did. I've got that coming up, Philip. I've got all these honours as a manager and the player. But yeah, go on.
He was only 2 months out of work when he came to us. And he was managing Spurs during the golden period of Lineker, Waddle, Gascoigne, the likes of them. You know, he came in after David Pleat left after the debacle of the 1987 Cup final. And I mean, those. Okay, I know he only got a trophy in the last month before he became an owner, but he built up one hell of a team there for us. Really, he really.
I mean, one season, Philip, we finished third, didn't we? We went the second half of the season unbeaten.
Yeah. That's
You
right.
remember that? And
That's right.
if we had,
Yeah.
we started the first part, I think it was the 88, 89 season. We started the first part badly, but the second part, we went on beating nearly for the whole second part of the season.
Yeah.
Look, look, and then of course he went to England, then didn't he? After a
Yeah,
few
he
years
did.
of football,
He was a couple of
then
years out of the game then. Well, obviously he was managing Tottenham, or he was owning Tottenham for that
yeah,
period.
or
Then
or
the slight debacle with Mr. Sugar came up and slightly ruined things.
I still don't take
I'm waiting
sugar
for
in my
Alan
tea.
Sugar. I'm waiting for Alan Sugar's tribute. You know,
I am.
It'll probably be something like, "Yeah, I knew him."
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you know, I knew
Look,
him. Yeah.
look, look. We can say Denny managed our Australia, Crystal Palace, Middlesbrough, Leeds United, but we'll know him fully well as the Spurs player and manager, Philip. And just to quickly go through this, his manager honours. He won the Football League Second Division title in 79-80, Football League Division Third Place promotion in 76-77 QPR. Football League Second Division title 82-83, FA Cup runners-up in 81-82. Barcelona, he won La Liga in 84-85, the Copa de La Liga in 86, the European Cup runners-up in 85-86. Of course, the FA Cup with us in 1991 and the Charity Shield shared in 1991. And he was the FIFA do you want to read that bottom? I can't get my teeth around that. Sorry.
The FIFA Confederations Cup winner, runners-up in 1997.
Yeah, 97. So, as a manager, got a lot of trophies, but Philip, it's Tottenham we remember him most for. Where do you think? Where does he fit into the past managers at Spurs? Where do you rank him? I rank him very highly, Terry Venables.
Yeah, I would rank him highly, mainly because he won a trophy for us, which, let's face it, we've been pretty thin on the ground ever since. We've only won 2 trophies since Terry left us.
Yeah.
And you think about that, and he's more than 30 years gone. He's almost 30 years gone from Tottenham. So, you know, it's more than 30 years. Yeah, he was a good man. He brought a bit of flair back to the team. He brought a bit of pizzazz, a bit of life about Tottenham, and you know, he had he had some brilliant players under him. Really, think of the team that we had in those days. You know.
I want to say to big up to Jay Green, rest in peace to a legend of football. Absolutely. We've got DJ Samuel, rest in peace. Terry, thank you for the FA Cup. We've got Dan Davenport, hi Dermot and Phil. Sad news about Terry Venables, very good England manager. He took you all the way to the semi-finals and only a hair's width of Gaza getting on the end of that ball could have got you to the final. And of course, Gareth Southgate joining the Pizza Hut gang by missing the penalty. And Philip knows what I'm on about. And football has lost a great man. He did. Just very quickly, away from football, there was a lot of accusation about his business type, Philip, right?
Yeah. Which we will. Well, you know what I call him. You know what I call him.
Yeah, he was the Spurs version of Del Boy. Look, but he was a great singer as well. Not a lot of people know that.
He was good enough to sing in front of dance bands, you know, the crooner, like in front of a dance band. I think Frank Sinatra was his speciality, or Dean Martin, or some of those types of singers. He had a brilliant voice.
Yeah, now this little bit I found here, his parents were very good singers, encouraged Venables to also take up singing. At the age of 17, he entered a singing competition in Butlins in Clancton-on-Sea, though Chelsea did not allow him to compete in the final stages. In 2002, he recorded a single for the World Cup together with the band Ryder, England Crazy, reaching number 46 in the charts. In 2010, he recovered the cover of Elvis Presley's song If I Can Dream in association with the British newspaper The Sun. It featured a 60-piece Royal Philharmonic Orchestra with the video shot at O2 Roof, while another video used for the Spurs Sun's TV advert featuring Harry Redknapp and Ian Wright as part of the choir was filmed at Wembley Stadium. The song reached number 23 in the UK charts. So he's had 2 top 40 hits, 1 top 40 hit, right? Look, he was diagnosed with, I think it was Alzheimer's, Philip. And this is the other point I think we need to talk about. Look, we lost Jack Charlton from the same thing a couple of years ago. We just recently lost Bobby Charlton from the same disease. Do you think? Look, do you believe the link between what the balls that we used back then that led to them getting this now, Philip, or And also, do you think there needs to be done more between football and what these older players are going through? Because it's you can put two and two together. Do you get me? And sort
Yeah,
of get
yeah.
four. Am I right to
No,
think that, or do you think I'm a
no,
bit way off the mark?
the heavy those no, you're dead on those. Those players that played in the 60s and early 70s with a heavy ball, then they're the one most likely to suffer from Alzheimer's, just from the brain injuries, really, from heading that ball so often.
Yeah.
I mean, the present day players won't have that problem, hopefully not, anyway, because the ball is so much lighter. But I think some clubs are extremely good to their past players. I know Spurs are one of them, and I'm sure most clubs are. But the FA should, I'm sure they do have this. I'm sure they do have a fund set up to help ex-players through medical expenses when basically an illness are contracted while playing the game back in the 60s and 70s, and it's just very, very sad. And I think the present day ball is a lot lighter and waterproof as well. I don't think there's other balls even waterproof.
No, the one
you're playing on a wet pitch, they got heavier and heavier. You know?
I said today, Philip. I mean, Jay Green. I'll get to my point in a minute. Jay Green's got a question here. I just got to ask a question about footballers of old being proper heavy and hard. How can it affect players? Well, Philip, you play a look. I'm not saying this to be rude, Philip, but you played with them tall balls back in the day, so you know more about it than I. What's the difference between a football back then to a football now?
Well, obviously the makeup of football, they were all made of leather. Okay, they might still be made of leather, but they are so much lighter and waterproof, and no water can get into them. I mean, you used to have laces. There used to be lace in the old ball. You imagine heading that ball across the lace. Imagine that hitting your forehead. I don't know why they didn't do something about it, but definitely that has a huge effect on any player. Like you watch from now on, players in the 60s and 70s are now becoming in the 70s and 80s, and I guarantee you, every couple of months you'll hear of some ex-players contracting Alzheimer's or having Alzheimer's, dying from Alzheimer's or brain damage caused by putting that ball all the time.
Yeah,
so it's something had to be done. I remember when I was playing as a school kid, first thing we used to look for, what sort of ball we're playing with today. Oh, geez, not one of the big heavy ones. You know, you could barely kick them 20 yards.
Yeah, and of course Adidas came out in '74 with the lighter ball, didn't they? They were the first ones to come out with the lighter balls and all that. No, I was very sad to hear this news today, Philip. Look, I don't know why, but I think because I can remember Terry Venables more than I could of course we're all sad when Bobby Charlton died, but I don't remember him playing. I just remember Bobby Charlton being a TV personality. I remember Terry Venables being a manager or being on the World Cup with Des Lynam and Jimmy Hill. Arguing the point, even in the '86 World Cup, are you going to buy this man, Gary Lineker, to Barcelona? And, Terry going, I can't say that, you know what I mean? He really was an all-rounder, wasn't he? He was a TV personality. He was a football manager. He was a man about town. Where do you think his legacy will be led, do you think, Philip? Where will his biggest legacy be filled? Do you think clubs like Barcelona now will mark his passing and Tottenham did today? Do you think clubs will do next week?
I hope they would. They probably might not do it to a certain extent that Tottenham did, but I would hope that they would. I hope they will, QPR especially, and Chelsea. They should all mark respect at their next home match. Yeah, like Spurs did today. And I think the one word that you can sum up why Terry was so good at everything, he had personality to burn.
Yeah.
He could fit himself into any surrounding. And that's why he could. Some players don't have it. They don't have personality. They can barely speak. Terry Venables was a very eloquent, very intelligent, good speaker, knew what he was talking about. And that's why he was involved in so many things.
Would you say charisma? He had charisma.
That's the one. That's the word. Charisma,
yeah. Very favorite Terry Venables moment?
Favorite Terry. I think my favorite one is that when Gaza scored the free kick in '91, Finally,
Yeah,
they went to look at Terry on the bench, and you could see him going like that. That's my favorite moment of him.
yeah,
My second favorite moment is the day he signed up with Alan Sugar to save our club.
yeah. Look, look. I want to talk a little bit about that, Philip. We're not going to go too much longer because I know you're busy today. But look, I wanted to do something to mark this man's passing because
Yeah,
he meant so much to us. That day, Philip, we can remember our club not only being here. I was a young teenager going to bed, and I'm not. Look, I'm going to tell the truth. I cried. I'm losing my football club here. I'm a teenager. I'm losing the club I love more than anything, apart from my family. And Terry Venables put his neck out by hook or by crook or by something, allegation wise, but something,
yeah,
reaching down the back of his sofa, finding an
yeah.
odd card. Well, that fella
Half
owes
a
me a
million or
favor.
so.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
fella owes me a favor to get to save us. Do you think now people look back on that now and forgive his, how can I put it, Philip? Forgive his cockiness, if you know what I mean, his cockney ways,
Like he was a
and
cocky
look,
lad.
yeah, but look
You can't
back
knock that out
and
of
look.
cocky.
No, no, but you know what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to say it the way without sounding. How can I put it? His
Oh,
business
okay.
ways. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Listen, he's an East End lad, right?
yeah,
Now, East End lads are known for their business acumen or lack of it
yeah.
in some cases. And he would have pulled every stroke. Terry wasn't averse to pulling a stroke here and there. And
No.
I'm sure he did it. Now, when he pulled it on Alan Sugar, he probably pulled it on the wrong man.
Yeah,
And that's probably why things ended up in the courts as they did, And Sugar won his case, and we all know the history of that. But let's face it, only I don't think Sugar would have gone into that club on his own without Venables with him.
no.
So the fact that Terry was there,
Yeah.
we still had a club. I mean, like you, Dermot, we were out of the country at the time when that happened. And I used to, I like yourself, get up in the morning wondering would we have a club. I come in a month and a half after winning the FA Cup. We didn't know whether we'd be in existence or not. It was that bad. It really was. And then fans probably don't realise that they weren't around at the time, but it was serious. It was very serious.
Well, and Terry Venables saved our club. And look, I think fans should thank him from that. He never got the gratitude I think he deserved from later fans. Maybe he got gratitude from us at the time. But I think
Yeah,
after the Alan Sugar thing, all that sort of got lost within the murky world of,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
do
High
I want
finance.
sugar in my tea, or are
Yeah.
you team sugar or team Venables? I was team Terry Venables. I'm sorry.
But
I
but
wanted
if you look at that,
Terry.
the way it went down, everyone was Team Venables and Sugar. Then when it
Mm,
went to court, everybody suddenly jumped on the Team Sugar,
yeah.
right? But then 5 years later, it was Team Levy.
Mm,
It's the way things go in football. We're a very fickle
yeah.
bunch, really, as fans. And again, it's not Team Levy at the minute. It's whatever it is, and where somebody else buys it, we team them. That's
Mm,
just the way it goes.
it
But
is.
Terry Venables would say he was a pivotal reason we still have a club, and for that he deserves huge gratitude.
I think he laid foundations to what we've got now. He dug the foundations to what we've got now.
But
I, I, I
he certainly hired the cement mixer anyway.
Yeah. Look, I will go through a few more comments, Philip, and then we'll get your final thoughts on the great man himself. We've got Dermot and Dan Davenport said, Dermot and Phil, did you know Des Lynam came from Ireland? He did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Forget where he came from, Philip. Was it Limerick?
I'm not quite sure. No, he's Irish. I think he's more Dublin side. I'm not sure he is
Yeah.
Irish though.
Yeah. Do you realise what happened in Dublin when you left? I don't know why you left. Do you?
After watching the videos, geez, serious.
It's still going on, by the way. It's
Is
still.
it?
I'm hearing I was hearing it's bad up there.
So, yeah, no, it's shocking. It really is.
Yeah.
I know what I do with them lads. So,
Yeah, I know that too. I know that too,
yeah,
Philip. That would be a rally after. That will be off the wall stream. That will be an after dark stream. That would be when me
I
and
think
Philip
so.
go large. Um,
Yeah.
Jay Green, so just a random question for you lads. Who has been, in your opinion, the best Spurs manager has had over the years, and why? Look, I'll let you go first, Philip. I know who you're going to say, and I think I'll probably agree with you.
Well, I have to say, purely on trophies won and
yeah,
the way is Bill Nicholson. I mean, he won the league, he won the FA Cup 3 times, he won the League Cup twice, he won the European Cup Winners' Cup, and he won the UEFA Cup. So, I mean, you know, name manager that's won that many trophies, and I'll admit he's a better manager than Bill Nick. We just don't have anybody that won that many.
No. Look, Bill Nicholson for me, Keith Birkinshaw, and I think you got to put Terry Venables in there for winning the trophy. Terry may not have been the most successful manager. Bill Nick stands above everyone else. We all know that. And so does Keith Birkinshaw and all the other managers that have won us trophies. But I think for today, I would put Terry Venables in that bracket. He done something, as you know, Philip. He won us an FA Cup and then saved our club. I keep banging on about it, but it is so important we don't forget that.
Absolutely. It's crucial. It's absolutely crucial. If Terry Venables had, for me, picked up one thing he did, which he popped out of his mother's womb 80 years ago, it's that day he bought into Spurs with Alan Sugar. That was the most important thing he ever did, in my opinion.
Do you know, I wrote him a letter when I was younger, when I was a teenager, to thank him for saving my club. And I got a reply from him. I got a reply from him. And it was like it was one of them pre-typed letters, you know, or thank you for getting in touch with me.
And nice to write back.
Yeah. And at the bottom of the letter, in his handwriting, because I put in there, "You saved my club," and he put in the handwriting down the bottom, "It's a club worth saving."
Yeah.
Now he did that in his own handwriting. Now the rest of the letter was typed out like normal, like somebody had typed it for him. But at the bottom, in his own, and he signed it himself. He said the club was worth saving.
Oh,
that's how much Tottenham meant to Terry Venables.
Yeah.
That's how much he meant. And then, look, there's all the debate, Philip, would Gaz have been better at Old Trafford with Alex Ferguson? Was Terry Venables a bit letting them off too lightly? But one thing about him, very quickly, Philip, and my final sort of thoughts on this, players will play for him. They would run through a brick wall for Terry Venables. And that was the quality of the man. That was the man himself, and that's the biggest legacy. I think that's the biggest legacy, Philip. You can lay at that man's feet. He was a manager. He was a player's manager.
Yes, absolutely, he was. And you know, I think we've had a few good managers since his day. Well, let me see who we had. I'd like him a little bit. The players loved him like they love Ange. That's the way I put it. And that's it. Yeah. But I just hope that Terry gets the send off that he deserves. Not that he's got it from Tottenham already, which is very well done. That he gets it from the rest of the other clubs, and especially Chelsea, the one I'll be watching.
Yeah.
See what they do for him.
And also, Philip will be watching Alan Sugar's reply.
Oh, that's going to be the good one. That's going to be really good.
You know, we may do a breaking news for that. We may do a breaking news stream for that if Alan Sugar replies.
I don't think it'll take too long to read out now. That's the only thing. You know?
No, it'll be, I knew him. Or he might put, R.A.P. Terry Venables, you're fired.
I don't know, Dermot, the other watched that TV show in Ireland with Pat Short and the Killing the Scully.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting buried. And the priest says, now someone's going to say a few words about the deceased. And nobody stands up. They're all just shuffling around. Nobody says a word. It's this guy at the back puts his hand up. He says, his brother was worse.
We just
that'll be the Alan Sugar response. You know?
Probably. We just got through one of these last moments, and put in the comments as well on the stream what was your favourite Terry Venables moment of his career for you. Dan Davenport's my favourite Terry moment was England thrashing Holland 4-1, of course, in the European Championship in '66. Jay Green's got one question for us, Philip, and then we are going another manager question, a bit controversial. If we go back to 2019 and look at how Spurs have done since, do you agree Poch had to go? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think he has. He has. Now, that being said, I would have liked to have seen Poch back at Spurs. Not at the moment, not at this moment in time, but since he's nailed his colours to Chelsea match, he's dead to me now. I don't want him back in any other club.
Now, Philip, you are on the high seas.
He deserves to go.
Yeah, he does. You're now on the high seas behind you. Lovely view. Yeah. Lovely bit of sea, a bit of... Any icebergs? Did you manage to miss the one earlier?
He just missed it.
Oh, that's good. Where are you off to tomorrow? Where's your boat landing tomorrow?
Costa Rica. place called Punta
Costa
Arenas
Rica.
in Costa Rica. Yeah.
Oh.
Then on Wednesday we go through the Panama Canal. And
At that now, I would. There, you're
I'm
going to have to do.
actually, I'm going to be doing a live stream from it. So that's okay
Well,
with you, Dennis.
yeah, let me know and I'll set it up,
Yeah.
Let me know and I'll
Yeah,
set it up. I might
I'm
join
not
you
quite
for
sure at the time. Yeah, it'll be fairly. No, it won't be. It'll be around lunchtime with you, and be about 5 or 6 in the morning here. But it'll be very just to watch. We did I had to go to a lecture on it this morning. And it's absolutely fascinating. You know, do you know how much it costs each ship to go through it? When you hear this,
How much?
A ship this size, this holds 2,000 passengers. $386,000 they have to pay to go through the Panama Canal.
Just to go down past the canal.
Just to go down through it. And the big container ships, the ones that hold on the massive, they can pay over $500,000 to go through.
Jesus. When you go down that canal, Phillips, do us a favour. Don't get into any problems with you. Don't start any international conflicts or anything with you.
I don't think you can, because when we're going down, we've got 6 inches to spare on either side. So unless they jump off,
don't be showing your Spurs flag and your Irish flag over the side of the ship, waving it.
Oh, I think that's a good idea. Actually, I might do that.
Hang on. Yeah. Brian says Lord Sugar has spoken on Twitter about Terry. Well, what did he say?
Oh, right. I wonder what he said.
What did he say? What did he say? Hang on, let me look.
Let's have a look and see if we can see it.
Yeah, you just talk there, Philip.
I can only use one device at a time. I'm on my laptop at the minute. So.
Well, just talk to the people. I don't know, make something up.
Yeah, okay. So I suppose we have to talk. We have to mention the elephant in the room. The game this morning.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't. But I mean, I've seen the bit where Brian Hill got elbowed and also the handball. Why are they not penalties? Jesus, I don't know. I'm not disheartened though. I'm not disheartened. We're still ahead of the curve, and once we get our players back, there'll be nobody stopping us. Nobody stopping us. I mean, Villa just beat us with half a team. Knows.
Well, I can't see. Brian, can you let us know? Oh, he's posted it. He said, "Oh, here we go. Very sad news about Terry. Wish his family well. R.I.P."
See, that's milk and water, anyway, isn't it?
That's very That's very.
I had to say something, but that's as much as you're getting, lad. Just probably what that is,
I'm a bit. I always wondered, right, if Alan Sugar went before Terry, what Terry would have said about him. Do you know that? I would have loved that.
Terry would probably say, "Come on and sing at your funeral."
Well, he is heading now to the man in the sky, the big with the big gates where all they are, Philip.
Well, I hope he gets through the VAR decision up there anyway.
Yeah. Cheers, Brian, for posting that. I just tell you that response, right, is just typical Alan Sugar. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Something he says to a contestant on The Apprentice, You're fired.
Yeah, it is. Wish his family. You think he could have put condolences to his family or something a bit?
You wish somebody well when they're going on holidays. You don't wish them well when you get to die. That's true, though, isn't it?
I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't. But that response is just. We were talking what his response would be. Yeah, we wish you go to a funeral. You don't go to a funeral and say, "I wish your family well."
You say sorry for your troubles, or
sorry for your loss or something.
It's a big sorry for your loss. I wish the family well,
Yeah,
but anyway, he probably send that crate of brown ale to the house or something.
He probably would, and the brown paper bag on top of it. But
look, and the bill to pay for it.
Yeah, look, I'm sure Terry, if he was watching this, would have a giggle. I'm sure he would.
Oh, yeah.
He had that. He had that. He would have. He is one person I would have loved to go on this channel, Terry Venables. Yeah, I said it for years. Him and him, I would love to get him on. But look, it is a sad day for football, Philip. A sad day for Tottenham. I know all the other clubs, but it's a sad day for us for what he done. Look, it's a special stream for me and Philip to the great man himself. May he rest in peace. May his family take solace in all the condolences they're going to get for him. Look,
ones that actually some of them might even be sincere.
Are you quite disgusted by that tweet, to be honest with you?
I'm not surprised, though. I'm not a bit surprised.
I'm not surprised either, but I'm quite pissed.
For God's sake, could he not have been a bit more magnanimous and say something? He was a great footballer. I sparred with him as a business partner, and we might have always agreed, but bygones be bygones, may he rest in peace. Something like that wouldn't have killed him, you know. Wouldn't have killed him.
You know, I don't know. Alan, if you're watching, Alan Sugar, if you're really watching, Philip, you can do the finger. You can give the you're fired bit.
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. He might be watching.
Alan Sugar. I don't care if he is. Alan Sugar, you're fired. There you go. Jay Green says great show again. Yeah, great show again. Yeah. I wasn't going to say anything bad, Philip. All right, I'm not that bad. Great show again, lads. Fair play. Please hit that like button. Please hit that. Very quick on today's result, Philip. I'm going to do the post match tomorrow. But what's your thoughts on today's game?
Well, nothing in the. I watched along with you for the first half hour. It was very good. I think it just shows you that squad is a bit thin. I'm disgusted that Matty Cash does specialise in nobbling Spurs players. That seems to be all he ever does. Bentancur's gone with an ankle injury now for God knows how long. Our injury list keeps getting longer and longer. And only for that injury list today, we would have won that game with our eyes shut today.
Definitely.
And we still should have. But how many times was the ball in the net and ruled out for offside? Was it
3 or 4? 3.
I hit the post twice. Just shows you fine margins. Villa and all, but can I just say this, lads, before I go? Yeah. Some of the reactions from the so-called Spurs fans on social media today is nothing short of disgusting. I'm sorry, lads, but calling for Ange to be sacked and saying that we're going to finish in the bottom half of the table when we're so far ahead of the curve at the minute. Did you think we'd actually be fifth in the league, 4 points off the top at the end of November? I didn't. I did. Life, lads. Let's just. I did. I know we did. I know you're deluded. Let's just get behind the team. We'll get our players back. We'll get new players in January. Then watch us go.
I know I'm deluded. I've missed your rants. That's one hell of a rant.
In the nicest possible way.
You know what?
Obviously,
we do you know what? We do a nice stream for about Terry Venables. You know, he's passing everything. Philip gets to the very end and then he rants. It's like he's sitting there all day, sitting next to his missus, right? Going, the missus is watching him. Philip's been twitching,
for 42 minutes.
Yeah. Philip's twitching, right? Philip starts twitching, and Mrs. Brady realizes, right, Philip, go on stream, get it out your system. And then, either that or you're going overboard.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. She actually, when I had to go to a lecture this morning, that's why she took the phone off me, so I couldn't follow the match. That's how bad it was.
Fair play to Mary. I love it. Absolutely love it.
She knows me too well, Dermot. She knows me too well.
But look, a sad day for Tottenham. A sad day for the Venables family. Look, I want to send our condolences from me and Philip and the gang here at THFC till I die to the Venables family. Condolences on your loss. May you find comfort in all the condolences you get, and just ignore Alan Sugar's one because that was just pathetic.
Exactly.
We are back tomorrow, of course, at 4 with Newsbeat, with the post-match of the show. We are going to do a special panel down the canal with Philip on Wednesday. That should be fun. Philip there describing elephants and monkeys and giraffes.
There might be the odd crocodile in there, but that's it.
And that'd be good. So please join Philip for that. I actually might join him for that as well. For the good crack. Me and Philip can just talk to breeze.
What I'll do is I'm going to work this. I'm not sure. I don't know how I'm going to work the camera unless I do it live on Facebook or something like that. Anyway, listen, I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll sort something out.
Yeah, saw that. But thank you all for watching. Please hit that like button. Brian Maguire's like me and Philip are managed the way. So are we. Yeah, and then Brian Cash Doherty 2 seasons ago and got away with it. Yeah. Well, listen, thank you all for watching. Philip, thank you for joining me on this special stream.
Problem.
Terry Venables, we salute you, sir. Have a safe journey to the sky and fly high. Yeah. And thank you for saving our club. We're going to bow out now with a few Tottenham shots. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange we trust.